Let's begin on our backs today. So it's going to be a little bit more instruction, a little bit more of a kind of workshop, I guess, is a way to think about it. So begin with your legs outstretched, lying down on the mat. Relax your body. Take a few breaths to settle down and settle in. All right. Let's point our toes to the sky. So if you have some kind of strap to use, it would be great. I am going to be doing some things that work a little bit better using an infinity strap, which has 2 loops and some stretch to it. So provide that option for you, but any kind of strap will also work. So take the infinity strap in this case and put one wrist through each loop. As you inhale, take the arms up overhead, reaching up, keeping your arms in alignment, shoulder distance apart, and exhale, bring the arms back down. So just focusing on how the arms are moving together and maintaining the same distance from one another. Exhale, bring them back down. One last time, inhale, take the arms up overhead. This time hold. Stretch out through your heels, stretch out through your fingertips, draw your rib cage down. And bring your arms back down toward your sides. Good. So I'm going to keep my left wrist weaved through the loop of the strap. I'm going to bend my left leg and I'm going to wrap the other end of the loop around my foot. Right leg is extended straight, right arm can reach up overhead or out to the side, like the letter T, I guess. You're going to slowly straighten that left leg. Use the shoulder, let the shoulder come closer to the ground. That didn't come out so well. Yeah, allow the shoulder to get closer to the ground. Good, so what this allows me to do with a strap, if it's not totally obvious here, is that without it, if I wanted to grab my foot, or my toe in this case, in my body, that would mean I'd look like this. So my leg is doing what my leg should be doing, my neck is not feeling so good, my shoulder doesn't feel so good, my upper back doesn't feel so good. If you give yourself some length to work with, you get a great stretch in the hamstring, and your shoulder can relax. You can allow the leg to go off to the side, to the left. Take your right arm out like a T to counterbalance. Try to keep your right hip still connected with the earth so it doesn't pop up. You can bring that leg up and switch wrists, taking it off to the other side for a twist. Take a few breaths here. And inhale, bring the leg back up. You can weave both hands through the loop as well. Now notice that when I do this, using this particular kind of strap, I don't have to grip with my fingers. I don't have to do what I call the white knuckling grip, the death grip that takes all of your energy and strength to grip your fingertips. So let's switch to the other side so I can show you that. So instead, if you weave your hand through, the stretching and the pulling is actually tractioning your right wrist, or in this case, your right wrist, instead of using your fingertips. So in fact, I don't have to use my fingers much at all. I can leave my hands pretty relaxed. So in this case, the left leg is straight, the right leg is reaching up to the sky, straightening the leg as much as you can, and then using that resistance of your strap and the length it's giving you to allow your shoulder to get a little closer to the ground. Relax and breathe here. You can take that right leg off to the side. Good, you can bring it up to the sky again, switching wrists. Again, weaving it through, taking that right leg off to the left this time. Oh, man. Should do this more often. Inhale, bring the leg back up to the sky, bend the knee, take the strap off the foot, and bend both knees. Plant the feet with your knees facing up. Good, we're going to take a bridge pose here and using a strap again. And this time I'm going to take each wrist as I lift my hips. I'm going to take each wrist and weave it through each of the loops. And as I lift my hips, I can use the strap here instead of gripping or clasping my fingertips. With people with tighter shoulders, that clasping of the fingers can actually be quite uncomfortable and not so good for your fingers or wrists. So this allows my shoulders to be in line. I can still wiggle them closer together, and I'm really resisting against the strap. This is more of a isometric exercise, which is good and something that you'll find used in physical therapy a lot. Good, slowly slowly lower down. Man, all those yoga teachers out there going, oh my God, he said the wrong thing. All right. Just kidding, no yoga teachers are watching this. Let's see. Stretch the body out long. And let's roll off to the side and make our way up to the tabletop position. All right, so I'm going to work in tabletop, also using a strap. This time what we're going to do is use it across our elbows. Across our elbows. Placing it not on the elbow or below, but right above on the upper arm. Now, the thing is, these come in small, medium, and large sizes, and you use the size that is appropriate for your shoulder width. So for me, this is a medium. This is right. A small would make my arms too narrow, and a large my arms would be too loose and too open. So I'm going to put it right there, right above my elbows and tabletop. Good. So again, this is going to help me from doing what lots of people do when they start doing this practice, is their elbows tend to splay out to the sides, right? Which is not good for your shoulders. And so when we start moving into plank and chaturanga, using a strap as a kind of training tool is really good to keep your elbows in. So we'll do a couple cat-cows. Inhale, chest moves forward, pelvis tilts back. Exhale, round the spine, press through the palms. Draw the belly up, chin to your chest. Inhale. Chest comes through. Exhale, round the spine. One more. Noticing, if you are using a strap, how you can keep the elbows from splaying out. Good. So, from here we're going to work and we're going to progress toward plank and then chaturanga. So, with the knees down first, I'm going to shift my weight forward with my chest moving in front of the strap. Right? I don't want my chest to land on the strap, I actually want my chest in front so that the strap lands on my rib cage. And as I lower down and press straight back up, the strap is holding my elbows in. As soon as my chest or my rib cage hits it, it actually pulls the elbows together. Right? Sorry, my neck is out of alignment. Pressing straight back up. Good. You can press back into child's pose for a breath or two. Good. Coming back up onto hands and knees. This time we're going to play with plank with knees off the mat and chaturanga and upward facing dog. So knees off the mat, finding your plank. May take a moment. Good. Shift the body over the wrists, chest in front of the strap, lowering halfway down, and in fact, you actually kind of, it's like a hammock, right? So my elbows are hugged in, I'm lowered halfway down, I actually can't go any further, and pressing into upward facing dog. Chest moves forward, shoulders rotate back and away from the ears, and rolling over your toes, you can come into downward facing dog. So holding downward facing dog for a few breaths. Shift forward to plank, inhale, hold. Shifting forward over your wrists, lowering halfway down, hug the elbows in, press through the palms, upward facing dog. The only thing touching are my palms and my tops of my feet. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths in downward facing dog. And then you're going to lower your knees, sitting back onto the heels, release the strap from your arms. So that's just a couple of ways of using it across the arms. There's a bunch more as you progress into some other postures, arm balances, headstand, handstand, things like that, where it can be real useful in that case. All right, so let's move on. From here, let's come into child's pose. Stretch the wrists out. Take the elbows off the mat. Forehead touches. Lift your hips, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Slowly walk your feet forward, twin your hands, and let's hang in a forward fold, clasping the elbows. Relax the neck. Good. Place your hands on your hips, lengthening the spine. Inhale, standing all the way up. Good. And Tadasana, mountain pose. Start with your feet hip distance. Release your hands from your hips, turning the shoulders, elbows and wrists, palms face forward. Close your eyes for a couple of breaths. Open your eyes. Okay, let's do this. Come to the front of your mat, and if you have a block brick nearby, you can use it. And 2 is even better if you have them. So we're going to take our right foot and keep it forward, take our left foot and step it way back. All right, so we're gonna come into warrior 2 legs. So warrior 2 legs, we have our heel of our front foot lined up with the arch of our back foot and the big bend in the front knee. Good. So I'm gonna have this brick set up right there when we need it. Okay, press the front leg straight. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Palms face each other. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. As you exhale, bend the front knee, arms out to the side, warrior 2. Good, so the back toes are turned forward toward the front of the mat. Bend the front knee, reach the back arm down the back leg, left arm or right arm to the sky. Press that front leg straight, reverse triangle for a couple of breaths. And with your legs straight, without locking that front knee, we're going to come into triangle pose and use a block as an option. So take your right fingertips, reach them way out. Take your right hip and reach it way back. And we get as far as you can. You're going to just tip over, right? So what I like to start with is the block at the very highest position. I'm going to have it in front of my leg here to show you. You can also place it behind the leg as long as you're stacking your shoulders. So traditionally it's going to be in the back of the leg. Start here. And what you can do as you start to settle into this posture is you can find the height of the block that's right for you. So what's nice about these blocks is they have 3 different heights normally. This one has 4 different heights because of the diagonal, but you can lower it to this height. You can lower it to this height, as long as you're still stacking the shoulders. You can lower it to this height. Now, as soon as I lower it to this height, I start to collapse my shoulder because of my hip flexibility or lack of hip flexibility. So I like it to be somewhere here, right? But you find what's right for you. Some of you with really flexible hips don't use a block and you bring your hand all the way down to the ground. You can also use your shin. As you know, when I practice a lot of times, if I don't have a block nearby, I just use my shin. This allows you some flexibility in just just fine-tuning things. Good. Inhale, reach back. Reverse triangle. Bend the front knee. As you exhale, we're going to plant the forearm on the shin. That's not your shin, that's your thigh. On your thigh, take your left arm to the sky. Side angle stage 1, real active fingertips. Now, the next stage of this, I'm going to relax this top arm for a moment, is to bring the arm down to the ground. Or if you're not going to find the ground very easily, which I wouldn't, I'm going to use a block. So bring my hand down to a block here, or any of the other positions that are comfortable. Lift that top arm to the sky, reach up. Good. Take the arm out at a diagonal. In front of you, reach it back, make a big circle. Good. Press the leg straight, reverse triangle. Come to upright. We're going to point both toes to face forward in a wide stance. Good. So if you have a block, you're going to move it over to the other side while we work on the other side. So this time we're going to take our left foot, point it toward the front of the mat, lining up your front heel with your back arch, warrior 2 legs, and bending the front knee coming into warrior 2. So take your time. Sometimes it takes a bit to settle in here. So straighten both legs, reach your arms up. As you exhale, bend the knee, warrior 2. Good. Take the back arm down the back leg, reach up, straighten the front leg, reverse triangle. And as you exhale, you're going to reach your left fingertips way out in front. At the same time, you're reaching your left hip back, so they're moving away from one another. Right? Like you're being pulled forward. And as you tip forward, you're going to find a block with your left hand. Right arm reaches up. Good. Find the height that's right for you today. Experiment a bit with your gaze. Does your neck feel best when it looks down? Or when it turns to the side? Or maybe if it gazes past your fingertips? Good. Again, the block can come to the back side of the leg. Reverse triangle. Good. Bend the knee, warrior 2. Right arm down the back leg, reverse warrior. And as you exhale, we're going to plant the forearm onto the thigh. Right arm reaches up, and we have ourselves a nice side angle. Stage 1, or variation 1, right? So you're stacking the shoulders. This is usually the easiest place to breathe. Now, we're going to move on, bringing our left hand down to a block, if you can maintain that shoulder alignment. You can play with putting it in front. Take the arm out in front of you at a diagonal. Reach it back, make a big circle. press yourself, reverse triangle. Good, as you exhale, come upright, turn the toes to face forward, hands on your hips. All right, from here, have your strap nearby. You can hold on to it and take your arms behind your back. You're gonna put one wrist in one loop and one wrist in the other loop, and draw your shoulders close together. Inhale, look up. As you exhale, fold forward, taking the wrists overhead. Now, I'm going to show you a little demonstration here from someone with genuinely very tight shoulders despite 20 years of doing this practice. So, from this point of view, if I clasp my wrists behind my back and I fold forward, already my wrists are coming apart, my fingertips are gripping like with no blood circulation, and I'm really struggling to take my arms away from my back. Shoulders just don't want to go. If I use a strap here, it's like a huge relief. So I can not only reach further, but I don't have any of that tension in my hands. In fact, I don't have tension anywhere when I use a strap here. Another breath. Inhale, standing upright. You can release the strap to the ground. Bend your knees, hop your feet forward or together, not forward. Good. Okay, from the front of the mat, top of the mat. Take your left leg, reach it back. Bend the front knee. We're going to come into a high lunge. So both feet are facing forward. Inhale, reach the arms up. Bending the front knee. Good. Bring the palms to your together at your chest. Optional here is warrior 3. You're going to lean forward, coming to balance on your right leg. Left leg coming to the hip height. So you're not hiking it way up and you're not sagging it down. Trying, without being able to see, to bring it to your hip height. So I can't see either. I'm doing my best. Ooh, tricky balance. Good, coming to standing on both legs. Good, second side. I'll turn around, so. Good balance on my left leg. Take your right leg, step it back. Coming into crescent, second side. Lift the arms up. Bending the front knee deeply. Back heel is up. Bring the hands to your heart. Lean forward for optional. Warrior 3. Balancing on the left leg this time. Right leg reaches back. Again. Try not to open this right hip. That's a different pose, right? That's half moon. The difficulty here is actually bringing the hips to be level here. Reaching back with that back leg. Do your best. Slowly come to standing on both feet. Good. All right. What's next? Okay. Okay, let's do a standing balance using the strap. This is a good sequence to play with. So we did the part of this at the beginning lying down. So this time we're going to work on it standing up. So I guess I'll face you and mirror. So start on your strap on your right wrist, and you're going to lift your right leg and loop the other loop around. So you're balancing now on the left leg. Take the foot out in front of you. Good. So balancing, try not to lean back. So you're still maintaining an upright position. Take the leg out to the side and the opposite arm to the side. Good. Again, here, for me to do this pose without a strap would mean, see if I can do this, that if I were to take the traditional yogi toe lock, not my favorite term, I would look like this. Not good for my shoulder, not doing much for my leg, and not really helping with my breathing or balance. So I'd much prefer the length. It's like a breath of fresh air. Good. Bring the leg back forward, bend the knee, and release. Switch sides. Take the strap into the left wrist, loop the other end around your left foot. Good. Standing on the right leg, bring the leg in front of you. Shoulder moves back. Standing tall, take the right leg off to the right, or sorry, left leg, oops. Opposite arm. Good, bring the leg back out in front of you, bend the knee and release the bind. All right, we're gonna add on to that, moving into dancer pose. I'm gonna do a couple variations here. So a lot of work on balancing, a lot of strength in the hips. So back to the first leg. We're going to take the strap around the foot, take it out in front. This time, we're gonna bend the leg, let the loop spin, right? We're going to move into dancer. Taking the front arm out in front. And spinning the strap, and maybe you can clasp the other arm. Slowly come around, release the strap. All right, we have one more side to do, so I can maybe talk you through that a little clearer. So the main thing is that this allows you to move from here, where it's out in front of you. If you allow it to spin on the wrist when you move the leg back and turn a whole elbow and arm, maintaining hold on the strap. Your opposite arm can come back and find the strap or your wrist, leaning forward for a couple of breaths. Good. Slowly balance. Let the arm rotate back toward the front and release the strap. That one takes some practice. Not for everyone, but it's nice if you can do it without. If you imagine again without a strap, being able to go from here to here, would be pretty difficult for most people in most bodies. Good, okay, from the front of the mat, toes touching, heels apart, Tadasana. Let's inhale and take our arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your palms, step each foot back. Plank. Bring your knees to the mat and press yourself into child's pose. Rest in child's pose for a few breaths. Press yourself upright. So I'm going to demonstrate something that is really good for people who have issues with their wrists. Sometimes spending a lot of time in these downward facing dogs and planks is not so kind on the wrists, depending on all sorts of things about your particular body. So some people find it really helpful to place 2 blocks where their hands are going to be, so that when you move into, let's say, downward facing dog, you've got some height. It also allows your heels to get a little closer to the mat. But the angle that my wrist is in, if you look at this one versus this one, when I'm in downward facing dog, is going to be a little less extreme when I have up on some blocks. Take some of the pressure off. So you can experiment with that. That's a good one. All right, so a couple seated postures before we kind of close out this shorter practice today. And practicing with using the strap in a bind. So sitting on a blanket or on the mat, let's take our feet out in front. Good. Reach the arms up overhead, and you can hinge forward and come forward. Good. So even here, you can use the strap in all sorts of good ways. One is you can take both loops, or you can take a hand in each loop and use it like this. You can take the loops and wrap them around your foot, one around your feet and your wrists through, and draw yourself forward like this. Good. Coming upright. Okay, so I'm going to try a variation of a binding posture where you usually traditionally would clasp your fingertips. So bend the left knee, draw it inward, and you're going to take one loop of your strap and wrap it around your foot. And leave the other loop kind of hanging here. It's going to take the left arm, reach it around the back, and see if you can find the end of that loop, that strap. So you've got the the shoulder reaching back using that bind. You can take the top arm and cross it over the knee. Or you can hug the knee in. Take the top, the straight leg and point the toes up. One more breath. And slowly release. Straightening that leg. Take the right leg, bend the knee. Take one end of your loop and strap it or wrap it around your foot. Take your right arm this time, bring it round. See if you can clasp hold of the other end of the loop. Sit up straight, left toes facing up. You can bring the top arm around with a stop sign arm, or you can hug the knee in as you twist. Slowly release the bind here. Good. All right, let's make our way onto our back. Good. So, at the beginning of class, we took a bridge pose. This time we're going to take a bridge pose using a block in a kind of restorative manner. Actually, we can use two blocks. So we can place one block between the thighs, squeezing it together. Take the other one and place it underneath the sacrum. You can stay right here. Take the arms out to the side and relax. Little bit of pressure hugging this block together between your thighs. If you want to take this block a little bit higher, you can either take it at a diagonal, if you can find it, yep, like that, or all the way to the top height, if that feels okay on your spine. Let's remove that top block from the thighs if you had it. Good. Lift your hips, remove the bottom block, slowly lower down. Good. Take your feet out in front of you, reach your arms up overhead, take a big stretch. And Shavasana. So I'd like to invite you to remain in Shavasana for as long as you wish. Just stop the video here. Thanks for joining. Namaste.